Okay, folks. We might be drunk. Good to be here. Sorry, what you were saying?
Oh, we're just talking Tarantino. There's a video with a woman. She's like, "Why the violence? Why the violence?" Because I love it. It's great.
Yeah, and it sells tickets, you cunt. Leave us alone. Who cares about...
We're coming out hard, I guess,
Whoa.
this episode.
Yeah. I just hate these.
You know what's
We gotta
funny?
cater to
They're
you.
going at Tarantino the way they go at hockey. Like, why the fighting? Why the fighting? Like, if you get it out, that person complaining about it is going to watch it. And
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, it's just like, if you're saying why the violence to that guy, you're not seeing any of his movies. Then when he takes it out, he'll just be like, it was sort of bland, not a good effort, you know?
Exactly. But now we just cater to all them, the queefs, and now everything sucks.
Yeah, we talk about Tarantino a ton on this because I mean I love Jackie Brown. That's one of my favorite movies of his because it's like it's got heart too. He makes different types of movies too. That's the thing. It's like they try to label him in a box, but it's like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They're so different.
Yeah,
I know. That's my favorite of his.
Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, I saw it like 3 times, and the last time I saw it in his theater, and he literally had like the Rick Dalton, like the Leonardo's character. He had like the posters. It was total immersive experience, like those movies really happened.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. And no, I just thought it was like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio's performance when he's like, he's in the scene and he's got nothing. He's trying to like, you know, do all this stuff. It's just like he did that so well. And then he had that little speech impediment. Like every time I watched it, I saw something else. It had one of my favorite cars of all time. It had this, I think it was a 67 Cadillac Eldorado. I fucking love that car. And then I also like how, you know, there's always was this mystique of the Manson family, and he just reduced them to a bunch of lazy fucks who didn't want to get a job.
right.
And I think I noticed this on the third one. I don't know if this is true, but I think nobody says hippie without saying fucking in front of it. It's always fucking hippie.
Interesting. Good catch.
It's the big thing of Margarita. Bunch of fucking hippies.
Yeah. The scene where he's in the trailer and he drank too much and he fucked up a line and he's like, God damn it, what are you doing? I've been there so many times in like a La Quinta Inn on the road. Like, why did you say that? You fucking idiot. You got to stop drinking. You got to write more. That really hit
the
home for me.
self-hatred.
Yes.
The self-hatred of that. And he was going, like making fun of his speech impediment. You just saw the whole
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole thing. It was, you know,
And Pitt is just so
Cadillac.
mysterious and cool in it. Like he's just a cool dude.
Oh,
in it,
Pitt.
you know?
Yeah, he was awesome when he
I
fought
love when
Bruce
he
Lee.
opens that beer and he's got the mask and like the foam shoots up on his face a little bit.
He didn't care.
He's just sitting there with that
Oh, yeah.
spear gun, and they kind of leave it open.
So
I
good.
think he killed his wife. I don't know. I got to go back and see Jackie Brown. I have not seen that since I saw it in the theaters, and I liked it in the theaters. It's just something, you know, being in this business, you know, it's just so crazy. Like you're like, I got to watch that again, and then all of a sudden 25 fucking years goes by, so I got to see that again.
That's a great one.
The detail. But also, who would pick? Is it Robert Forrester?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would pick that guy? Then to bring Pam Grier back? I mean, the guy does what he wants. He's got great ideas. Lawrence Tierney and Reservoir Dogs? Come on.
So you like to tell jokes.
I don't tip.
Dude, Samuel L. Jackson's funny as shit in Jackie Brown. It's just a great movie. Yeah. Is he your favorite director, you think?
Oh my God. I'm not so good. Jesus.
Ooh, what do you got here, Beer Jew?
So today we got root beer floats.
Oh,
my God.
I heard you liked them.
Yeah, I do, but I'm 54, so it's like
What do you get, one a month, maybe?
I have like
Thank you.
I have you know, more commitments. I feel like if I consume that, I'm going to need a nap. But
Yeah, you got to
I
have
was also taught not to waste things.
You got that right.
Let's talk about the state of comedy while drinking a root beer float.
Is that nutmeg on
Where's
top?
some of
What
the
is that?
edgier comics out here, people? Eating
What is
cotton
it?
candy.
That's a little chocolate powder on top.
Oh,
you guys have
you-
boozy root beer floats.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nothing says summer.
Yeah.
Like a little bourbon in your root beer float. That's fucking delicious.
That is good. Jesus.
It is delicious.
I haven't had one of these in 12 years, I'm going to say.
Yeah. They
Not
should.
since that diner in Atlantic City.
Are you?
Oh, black.
I'm so
how often
happy
are you
right
on the
now.
road, Bill?
Huh?
Right now.
You know what? I'm on the road and I don't care right now because I have a root beer float. This is all I got left.
Hold on, I'm going to light one of these puppies while
I
we're
always say
here.
that to younger people, like, save up some fun days. Don't blow out your liver. You want to be that person that paces himself so you
Yeah.
can booze your whole life. So, you know, if you want to occasionally, you know, I think you need to be a little more introspective about your habits.
Sorry.
I'm kind of moderate. Come on, you've been there, right? When they
Oh.
sit there and they talk about what's an alcoholic.
What are you
You're
kidding?
like, really? The bar
awful.
is that low?
How
When I
about
see like 4 drinks a week, I'm like, now you're just being an asshole. That's not fair.
yeah, how about the doctor?
4?
How many drinks
I
do you
know.
have? And you tell him, and he's like, ooh. And you're like, oh, I lied.
Yeah.
And all these new studies that say like there's no benefits to being under 40 and drinking. There's none.
You got
You know,
that right.
Yeah,
over
no.
40, I guess there's some, but I don't know.
I heard once, I like it so much that I don't abuse it. And I think that rings true. Even though I do abuse it.
Yeah, no, I did too. I did. I had a good time though. I got my stories. I'm like that old retired guy with the Hall of Fame jacket. Just sitting there. Let me tell you, back in the 80s.
I don't know if you know this, but there's a video on YouTube of you calling DeRosa hammered at like 5 in the morning in Florida because he didn't go out and you went out, and you're like shaming him for taking it easy that night.
Post it?
No, somebody found it. Somebody posted it.
No. We must have played it on the radio show.
Maybe, but you're hammered. But you didn't say anything bad or anything. It's not incriminating.
I was a happy drunk.
Yeah, same.
I was probably singing. I used to like to sing.
Yeah.
Won't you come out, Joe DeRosa? Won't you come out?
I think that's in there.
Something that was a big hit for me
Well, it's
back
hard
in the
to quit
2000s.
when you're a good drunk. It's hard to quit, you know?
Well, there's
yeah.
business too. That's why I don't start back up, because I was like more of like a habit guy, but like it's like anything. It's like these fucking things. I'll quit them and then I'm good, and then I have one on a podcast, and then I abandon my family. So that's I'm gonna put that on you guys.
Well, I think hungover with toddlers is pretty rough. I don't think that's doable. So maybe when I have a little rugrat, I'll cool it with the sauce.
Dude, you know something too? Is being downstairs hammered, and there's like the most innocent thing ever upstairs dependent on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, if somebody came through the door right now, I'd run at them and just go down like that. I couldn't drive him to the hospital, so that ate at me.
That's tough.
Yeah, so I basically, the first year she was born, I just was like, I'm going to take a break. And then I kept doing it, and it's good. But these things here, I got to watch out because, kids just pick up on stuff. I go, you should never smoke. And they're like, yeah, you only do that when you're an adult. And I'm like, fuck. Got to undo that. So, but, whatever. Enough about my failures as a father.
No. Hey, my dad was a pretty big boozer.
Really?
He would drink
Oh.
Schlitz.
A comedian? I
Schlitz?
figured you had a great one.
Schlitz.
He always said he was proud of you and asked you how your day was.
Still
Play catch.
waiting. Still waiting. Mm-hmm. But
Schlitz, that's an ugly drunk.
Schlitz, it was cheap, and he would drink them hot, and he would just leave the case on the floor and just take one out. And
To be extra angry.
yeah, it wasn't pretty. And he was always in boxers. I remember. And when he would drive, he'd go
Better
hand
than
up.
briefs.
Oh, yeah.
My dad
way
was
better.
a briefs guy.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
What are you?
Me? Oh, boxes. He's been
Yeah.
boxes forever. But everybody was briefs. Some boxers came in like the 90s. But up until then, everybody was briefs. You just
Yeah.
walked around. Everybody. Yeah, you just. Yeah.
And they were white, too.
Yeah, they were white. It was just, this is
dad
it. This is
junk.
what I'm bringing to the party.
Yeah. Remember, that was a commercial in the 90s,
They would-
boxers or briefs with Jordan.
What about the boxer briefs? They do the combo.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
You got to mix.
No, that's what I have. You got a
Yeah.
boxer brief.
yeah.
That came in later. Because that was like a big thing when the boxer brief came in. It was like, hey, best of both worlds.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another thing. It's funny how there's just lies and everything. You don't know what to believe. It's just like, what's better?
how'd we get
Boxers
there
are
from
bad because your balls are hanging down. And the other ones, they heat up your balls and your sperm count goes. It's just like, it's like the egg. Is it good or is it bad?
Wait,
Milk.
what? What's wrong with the egg?
I don't know. They
The
always
egg
go
has
back
been
and-
good, bad, and
Yeah.
good in my life, and I think it's going bad. It's like Hulk Hogan. He's going bad again.
Yeah, he was the king, and then he had like a sex tape or an N-word.
Did you see that video? The guy Bubba the Love Sponge, where he
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
he's like, I
that
told
was
my
brutal.
wife to fuck him, and then the video got out. It was like a whole thing.
I think he sued Gawker over that and won.
yeah,
by
he
the
won
way.
like 150 million or something.
And they
Oh,
went
I thought
under.
that was the other one.
Yeah.
When the wrestler drops the N-word in his promo.
Oh, that is
Saturday
so
night,
good.
Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you. And maybe the second he goes, oh, like that. And I just thought, it was so like, he was so in it. He just forgot where he
Yeah.
was. And I just loved how immediately he was like, oh, God damn it. I said that in front of white people.
Yeah.
He turned down the George Foreman grill. That was brought to Hulk
This
Hogan
guy?
before.
Oh, Hogan.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did?
Yeah. Oh, is this it?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Roy Wood in the back?
He says, sucker. He says, this is all
Booker
old
T.
school. Oh, yeah, this
This
guy's
guy
the
rules.
best.
He
Yeah.
committed. Oh, Sally.
Crushing it while getting the pecs going.
I know. I don't think there was a ton of black guys in wrestling either. Head in hands. Head in hands. Then the woman consoles him.
He turns around and then he's like, he's back in. All right, fuck it. That didn't happen, but I just gotta.
Damn, no take. We can't take that again, huh? That was just one take.
There's some great ones where they do outtakes where Mean Gene is laughing when someone will say something, and then it oddly sounds like a gay sex act, and he just starts cracking up. I don't know. I watch a bunch of that shit.
Mean Gene was incredible. That dude just knew how to. You need a straight man.
Yeah.
You know?
I gotta tell you, people from Goodfellas and wrestlers dying is the saddest thing about growing old. It's just like your favorite movie. You know,
we got Paulie Walnuts on the wall here. We love him.
I know. He went, Ray Liotta went, and
Paul
Sorvino.
Yeah. I didn't know that was Maria Sorvino's?
Did you read that thing where he was talking about how he was going to try to back out of the movie because he only played nice guys and he didn't think that he could do, you know, sort of that ominous thing that he did. And then one day he just kind of put the coat on and he said he was thinking about the character and he sort of looked up in the mirror and he like scared himself and he's like, all right, I got this.
Is Liotta?
No, Paul Sorvino. So, because Paul has a couple of, like, I love that moment where he goes, well, what do you want me to do, whack him? And the guy, hey, I don't think that'd be a bad idea. And he just gives him this fucking look. And he's like, oh, I mean, and he's just like, oh my God, this guy's going to end up in a dumpster. Just this look that he gave him. And then also, like, I love when he's like, with the onions, when he's kind of looking down his nose and just like.
The garlic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just like one. Like, I feel like the Food Network should show that scene before every. It just makes you want to eat a great meal.
Of course, I can't cut garlic without thinking about that. It's just burn into my brain. That and Cutty Sark.
It's just what I like. I just like the how much Italians give a shit. Coming up German, Irish, where they just threw shit in a pot. It's just like airport level. Go fuck yourself. But these guys, look at that face. It's an art.
Oh, man.
Even in prison. Yeah, at the beginning of the pandemic, I made pasta like every night just because, you know, you bulk it out. And I can't not think of the scene.
Every time.
I mean, how genius is that? So it liquefies in the pan? Like, how good is that?
Yeah, my mom has a food podcast. Shout out. And she's like, what do you want to talk about? And I talk about that scene. And she's like a big, you know, Italian mook. And she had never seen that. So it blew her mind. She's like, I thought this was like a bloody gangster movie. I'm like, no, it's Scorsese. There's attention to detail.
Yeah, no. And that's also, too, what's amazing about that movie is it's just, there's so many like little vignettes and little stories within the whole thing that, like, you know, all of those script writing classes, like, everything that he did, it makes no sense. And then you watch it, and it's just amazing.
I know. The scene at the dinner with the mom, the hoof. That scene's amazing with the guy. One guy go this way, one guy that way. That scene's amazing. That's like a little movie in itself. The scene with the wives where they all have herpes. That's a great moment. There's a million of them.
And everything looked like it was thrown together.
The scene where he wakes up and she's on top of him with the gun. I mean, there's so many memorable images.
Oh, yeah. We've all
fucking
had that
De Niro
moment.
turning, Clapton playing. I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah.
How about Ray Liotta? How early that was in his career, and he got thrown in with those guys, and he totally hung with them, and they were like improv and all of that.
Yeah.
I love Ray Liotta, man.
Yeah.
I watched Something Wild recently again the other day. That's a great Liotta
I
flick.
never saw. I got to see
great
that.
flick. He steals it. I mean, he's incredible. He's so scary in it, man.
I got to work with him one time.
What?
Really?
Yeah, he was cool as hell.
Whoa.
I remember I came in the makeup trailer and he was just sitting there, and he was in like a suit, you know, and I was just like, I didn't say anything to him. I was just like, wow. And then, you know, we did the scene and everything, and then he was really like a warm guy. You know, you wouldn't think, you know, just because of the characters he played, but a really like nice guy. And we had a couple scenes together, but there was like a big amount of time between them. We shot the first one in L.A., and then there was like a month or 5 weeks, and we shot the rest in New York, out in like Queens or whatever. And we on top of that silver cup, we shot a scene on the roof of that thing out in Queens. And he came out, and I remember because he called my character Skippy. He was giving me shit, you know, because I had the whole Ron Howard look, and he was just like, so he goes, hey, what's up, Skippy? You know, fucking with me. And I just started laughing, and he was like all amped up, you know, to like to do the scene and everything. He was just really, really fun. Just a fun guy, man. It's a fucking shame.
If actors that big and that iconic get annoyed with guys who kind of blow them and look up to them and get excited, are they like, right, act like you've been there, or you think they're flattered?
I think it all depends on the person. So I always I just keep my mouth shut, and I just always treat it like if this guy wants to talk to me, he will.
Yeah.
And then I think usually when you're just sort of quiet and you're just doing your job and they think you're doing all right, then eventually they get, okay, this guy's a pro. He's not going to ask for a fucking picture.
Yeah.
I remember when we did that scene, when that scene was over, there was some extra in it. And the scene ended and it was downstairs at the bar and he was like walking up the stairs and this extra was like right on his hip the whole way up talking about this script that he had. Mm-hmm. And Ray was being nice and everything. And like now looking back, I'm like, they should have had somebody to be like, hey,
yeah, get a handler.
This isn't how this works. Yeah. He's like, this is my shot.
Oh.
And he pulls it out of his sweaty back.
Did you hear that Orny Adams story where when Seinfeld was shooting Comedian, the documentary, they were going around to local guys and going, what do you think of Jerry? And he goes, I think he's a lot of touch. I think he's kind of losing it. His fastball's gone. And Jerry saw that and goes, put him in the movie. He's got the balls.
And then he made a movie
honest.
Making him look like shit.
Well, there's...
That was the twist.
I know, but then there's talk of like, did he do that to fuck him over ultimately? Or, but it's all hearsay. But I thought that was interesting. He's like, he's got balls, to be honest. Put him in.
Yeah, and that becomes a good part of the movie. Then also, like, that got me, like, amped up. If somebody said that about me, I'd be like, all right, You
wouldn't be hurt? Out of touch.
No.
I mean, that's harsh.
No. You just got to go, take it and just be like, all right, this might be the kind of day he had, but it might be maybe I am.
Well, hate to tell you, Bill, you're a little out of touch.
That's why I'm down here with you young guys. I'm trying to hang on to the younger audience.
That's some great advice from Bill about go to the clubs, see the young guys, and
always,
you got to stay relevant.
The young guys keep you young. If you just fucking... make it and start selling tickets and you stop doing the clubs, what ends up happening is you grow old with your audience and you guys just all end up in some sad casino in the middle of nowhere.
Oof.
When you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
I've seen those shows. I've gone to those shows, both singers and comedians. And I still go out because I love the older guys and all that. And but I've you see the ones that are still having fun. And you see the ones clearly feeling like, I used to be able to pack a place twice the size. You just feel that vibe, and it's just like, all right, you're making us all feel like losers for being here. And then, one of the best shows I saw Tony Orlando.
Wow. No Dawn?
Tie a yellow ribbon and knock 3 times. Open for Don Rickles.
Wow.
What? Dude, they both.
How long ago was this?
Oh, my God. I was still drinking. I heckled Don Rickles.
What?
Shut up.
Well, because I knew I was going to meet him. I had to have an interaction. I was a little drunk. I waited till his encore. He was on there. I just kept going, Donnie! And he didn't say, and then he'd do a few more jokes. And then I go, Donnie! And then he just kind of looked out basically where I was sitting. He goes, yeah, I know my name. And I was just like, yes! Interaction! I'll take it.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
Are there any young guys you like now that you're following?
Well, not these two.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of people. As far as their crew, these two and Joe List, love all of those guys. Bianca Cristoval, who did Stephen Colbert last night. Yeah, she got the big, the whole, the first time you do a late night spot. I mean, that's fucking nerve-wracking.
It is.
Huge.
And those still mean, I know they don't do what they used to do, but they still mean a lot to me.
But it's still nerve-wracking because if you kill, no one's going to see it. But if you eat it, everybody's going to see it. Epic fail on Stephen Colbert or on Kimmel or whatever. So,
we all know which one you're talking about on Kimmel, by the way.
Yeah. What, did I bomb on that?
No. But there was one that really made the rounds on Kimmel.
I wasn't talking about that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't watch it, and I don't want to. I don't want to see anybody.
No, I didn't want to watch it. I don't like watching that shit.
Oh,
that makes me.
I put it on loop.
Really?
No,
I can't watch that shit.
It's hard.
I could never watch any of my friends on late night TV. I just couldn't. But there was one. There was this one that we used to do, Last Call with Carson Daly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one.
That was a tough one because well, Carson was great, but like the crowd, they would just get this crazy mix of people from like Times Square, some who didn't even speak English, and you just went up there and basically bombed. I remember Tom Papa telling me, he goes, I used to like watching that show when my friends were on and just call them up and just start laughing. But it wasn't like malicious from Tom because he knew he was going to go on and he was going to eat it too. But it was like the band would always be laughing. Carson would always be laughing, and then you'd be like, "How was that?" And Carson would be, "Oh, it was great, it was great." But then, even if you were killing, there was only like 11 people there because it was.
I remember a Russ Maneve set on there where the jokes were killer, and he was just getting nothing.
Really?
Yeah. He. By the way, Russ Maneve, one of my all-time favorite
funny.
jokes, where he says, "I have bad luck with women. My last 4 pregnant girlfriends died in sailing accidents."
Oh,
that's a great joke.
Amazing.
He had some killer jokes, but yeah, that set. I remember watching those sets and being like, "This looks like a hell gig." And it's televised.
I would have thought that because it's loose. It's like almost like a 60s show where there's
there was
laid
one
back.
worse than that. They had this one called Friday Night Videos that I did back in the day with Patrice. And it was basically the crowd was whoever didn't leave the Tonight Show. Whoever they could convince to stay. So it was like going to like a Royals game where there was all these empty seats and shit. And then they would throw like a drop cloth over Jay's desk and then they would hang this thing that said Friday Night Videos. And oh my God, did we bomb on that?
Yikes.
I did it with Patrice. Patrice went out and they go, and he knew he wasn't going to do well, so he just sabotaged his set. Remember they said don't curse, and he came out. I remember big stupid Patrice just comes out. He goes, shit. He's like, what's and I was so mad. I was like, why didn't I do that? They're going to show mine. Then they never aired his. I was joking. He had his back to the audience doing half his act. I said, you fucking went like Miles Davis mode.
Well, he had that move where like, if he's going to bomb, he's going to fuck you too. You know, he'll make you feel bad also. I'm not just going to be the one feeling dumb. You're going to suffer too. I'm putting my back to you and cursing.
Yeah, he was a quitter. He saw it and he just said, I'm not doing it. My dumbass was just like, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, that's how I was. By the way, Kimmel, shout out to Kimmel. He discovered Carson Daly, Adam Carolla, and what's the guy, the sports guy? Bill Simmons.
That's
all Kimmel.
Really?
Fun
Quite a
fact.
coaching tree.
Jesus.
Oh, good. There you go. There's one at every party.
We do
right
right
here.
there.
You got to reach
Right there.
with those long arms there. Yeah, never did Kimmel. I heard it was the worst stand-up.
Kimmel?
Yeah, because they would take everybody to another room, and then you perform. So everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
I remember Geraldo said on there that was like great.
He did Kimmel?
Yeah, great gokes and just nothing. They gave
Really?
you nothing.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, and now they do it. I think in his comedy club in Vegas. So you're not even on set.
God.
You're in
I
Vegas.
would rather do it that way.
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, at a club for sure.
Yeah.
In Vegas?
Well,
Yeah,
it's a
because then you
club.
don't even feel like you're doing the show. It's just, I would rather do it. He's probably helping you out. As opposed to just going out there with those people, who just got off the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And then you go up there with your fucking Hitler joke, and they're just like... and all you ever hear is the band laughing. And you want to be like, the band is laughing. Okay, this is doing... I'm doing well here.
Yeah, it's funny how nervous those crowds are. I did a thing on Fallon like 2 weeks ago, and I threw out a joke, and I remember thinking like, this is going to hit. And it got 0. And it's the worst feeling because you're like, that is on tape, and now Fallon hates me.
My favorite one to ever watch was Andy Kindler. I saw him on this short-lived talk show. I still remember the joke. And this before I even did stand-up, and I was watching that guy. Me and my brothers were all just dying laughing. And he said, this is the joke he did in front of a bunch of tourists. He goes, whenever Barbara Walters interviews Robin Williams, she always says, I was watching it, and she goes, Robin, were you always funny? And Robin said, yes. And I wanted to be like, really? Well, what happened? And then he goes, Jumanji, right? And they just staring at him. And at one point during the set, he goes, I choose to plow ahead rather than looking at the burning wreckage of the last joke. And first thing that he came out, he shit on the whole place, saying the ceiling was too high. Like he was playing some hell room, and he was like on TV. And I just never seen anybody do that. And his jokes were amazing.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just one of those things.
Yeah. I always, you hear about those stories of him going to the Comedy Store and just leveling. Like they said, the roof would come off. It was energy in the room. And then you heard, he stole half of it. That was like a big
I thought you were
rumor.
talking about Kindler, Robin Williams.
Oh, sorry, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I was thinking about
First you're
Robin.
trashing Kimmel. That's a dangerous podcast. I'm losing gigs right and left over here.
I'm a fan. I like Kimmel. I talked about how he discovered people.
Yeah. Robin Williams, man. That's like, did you know him at all or no?
No, I did improv with them one time.
Really?
What?
I was
What
at.
is that?
Yeah, it was just one of those moments. I was in
It's like fucking Tracy Lords.
UCB, the original one out in L.A. That first one before they had the second one.
Franklin.
Yeah, the one in Franklin. And I went down there, and Jeff Garland had a show, and he would do this thing where he'd give away some stuff from his house. He'd do a little stand-up and bring people out, normal comedy show. And in the end, he had this improv game called the Combo Platter, where 3 people would sit in a chair. Somebody'd start a story, and then you'd go tag, and you just went up there. And it was fun. And we were there, and Robin showed up. And in the end, he played. And I remember I was sitting like right here, and he was sitting, it was funny, like 3-4 inches away from me, but his arm hair was still touching my arm. And I remember all those jokes that he did on Live 8 about how hairy he was. I was like, that is iconic arm hair. Needless to say, I sucked in the improv game because I was like going like, that was one of many of those moments where you just like, you feel like you get like sucked into your TV. Like I've watched this guy for a decade. Probably longer at that point. It was I don't even know when it was, 2000s?
Damn.
Or something like that. Yeah, it was somebody. He was a super nice guy, just really like just regular. You wouldn't know that he did all of the stuff that he did. He just seemed like just still the same guy.
He's a comic.
So
Yeah,
I just watched that episode of Louis that he was on.
Oh, great
Such a great ep where they're just at the funeral for they're the only 2 people there. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, he was so good, man.
he was great on Larry Sanders' show a long time ago. He came on as he just came on as a guest, and he got into it with Larry. And I just remember when they went to commercial, and Larry was giving him shit about trashing him or something. He goes, whatever. He goes, it's a business. Blow me. Just the way he said it. You were really thinking like, wow, like, I guess on talk shows, like the host doesn't always like the guest. Like, it was sort of the first sort of peek into that. Because, when you're at home watching it, you just think like, oh, these guys are on TV and they just must hang out and drink and there's groupies and, back like the whole, Anchorman vibe.
Right.
The whole time I was growing up like that. That's why that movie hit so hard with me it was just like, that's the way like the news was. Like, dude, local news, like the fucking names. There was a newscaster in Boston named Tony Pepper. Like, that's like a shortstop name. Tony Pepper. He was the shit. Chet Curtis, Jack Williams. They had all of those names, and there was always like these hot women there, and one of them would end up marrying or banging one of them.
Right.
Yeah, there he is. Tony Pepper.
Look at that guy. He's like a playboy.
Tony Pepper. He absolutely was.
Wow.
Tony Pepper, I'm sure, did very well.
They had swagger
In the greater Boston area.
Yeah,
There's
local
Jack
news
Williams.
was
He had
cool.
Wednesday's Child. He was helping the kids.
Nah.
Bob Lobel would come in,
Oh,
and he would do the local sports. Bob Newmeyer. I remember all of those guys. Dick Albert did the fucking weather.
Yeah.
There was a guy on New York One, and he had like such an ego. He used to hang at the Cellar all the time. He was the film guy. Like, he'd be like, I give this one 3 apples. That was his whole thing. How many apples? And he would just hang at the Cellar. And I remember,
Really?
he was so cocky. You thought everyone recognized him. I'm like, I recognized him, so he immediately was like, clearly everyone here knows me. But I'm like, no, I just watched New York One. I remember he like kind of walked over to Michael Che like, New York One, and Che was just like, yeah, I have Fios. I don't know who you are. It was like the cruelest shutdown because he expected everyone to know.
Is that him?
No, it's not that
I was about
dude.
to say.
That's Whipple. That guy you recognize.
I don't know.
Who was the
Whipple.
other guy? Gene something or other with the
Shalit?
Gene Shalit.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Back in the day, film critics were like
They were
stars.
celebrities.
I mean-
2 thumbs up. Look at that
Look at that guy.
motherfucker.
That guy could take your movie out, and there's nothing you could do about it.
That's like what's that movie from the 50s? This Sweet Smell of Success. That's back in the day when they're like, I'll destroy you in my column, and that meant something.
Right.
Oh
You know?
yeah, big time, big
Yeah.
time. The last time I remember, like I remember this guy. He somebody had opened a restaurant. I'm gonna deliberately forget the name. Opened a restaurant here in Times Square, and this guy wrote this review that was just all questions, and it was fucking hilarious. It was just like, is there a reason the chicken is gray?
Ooh.
Why does the menu look like a fucking DMV test, whatever the hell it was? But it was just like it was like this guy's experience sucked. The whole I can't remember. Yeah, you don't need to be trashing these people. Come on, I don't like doing like the names. Look, we all
keep
take
it
a
vague.
hit. We all take a hit. Google
keep
me.
it
There's
vague.
plenty of people shitting on me. I never ate this, so But it was this guy went like literally the review went viral.
Oh.
It was.
How do you do that to somebody, though? That's so cruel. Like, who's this guy? Maybe your food
That's every
sucks.
TikTok now is just like rating restaurants. Like there's
I
so many
know.
people that make a living just like starting like we're gonna see the best places to eat. There's just dudes in cars like 4.7.
Yeah,
and like
there's
that's
a lot of
someone's
that.
life.
This
you
burger's
know?
better than this
That is-
burger. Shake
That is
Shack.
someone's life you're fucking
Dude,
with.
Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, like
He has influence.
like people want him to come to the pizza place and they don't. They're like, if this guy doesn't like our pizza, like we are fucked.
Oh, yeah. But he's
I gotta be
also-
honest. Yeah, I literally like
He's helping people.
I watch his shit.
I watch like when I go to a certain area, I Dave Portnoy pizza. I'll be like,
There you go.
like New Haven or something, like the pizza capital of the world.
Yeah.
What's his favorite one? There's some place out in Jersey, this brick oven one.
Yep.
That he said this one's the best. So it's like I got to get to that one, because there's been a few that he went to that I loved. I'm like, here comes a big number, and he's still in the sevens. I'm
Me
like,
too.
Fuck.
I think it was Arturo's in like the West Village. I fucking love that place.
Yeah.
And he trashed it. I was like, this is a good fucking pizza place.
Wait,
But it's also good because if he trashes it, then you don't have to stand in a long line for 2 years.
true. And any press is good press. Can pull up the video of him.
I don't know if any press is good press.
I guess
if he
not.
gives you a bad score.
Tell that to Harvey. But pull up the video of him. He's doing a pizza shop on
Press
First
edge, you
Avenue.
end up in Rikers.
Yeah, it's Portnoy, and it's the funniest video because he can't even get to the pizza review because all these weirdos in New York keep fucking with him, and it's so it feels like it's written. There's so much comedy in it on accident. No, Portnoy video. It's a place on First Avenue. It started in Staten Island. They moved to a First Avenue location. So
I
he
got to tell you
said,
something. The only thing better than a root beer float is the unexpected root beer float.
"Yeah."
No idea that was going to. I feel like it's my birthday.
I don't even taste the booze, by the way.
Yeah.
I'd like 20 more, but I'm not going to. I can't. No one wants to see a fat, bald ginger. I've learned that the hard way.
Wait, I think you got the bourbon one. Shit.
Huh?
I think you got the one with bourbon in it on accident.
No, that's not true.
What? Bill, we talk about something you
doesn't
say.
count if it's by accident.
We talk about something you say. I don't know if you said in an interview or something. We talk about in this pod all the time. Is that you talk about killing in obscurity
Yes.
in those like weird cities, like
that
coming
was
up.
me and Geraldo. That's what we used
Wow.
to do because every place I was doing, he was either was just there or was coming there the next week, and we were getting the same reviews from everybody that we were performing in the middle of nowhere. They were like, "Hey, well, the funniest guys, that ever played here." And the first 5-6 times you hear that, you're like, "All right, okay, things are gonna happen." And then like 8 years of your career goes by, and you're just like. I still remember that time when I was at I'd done a third show and I was just sitting there. And this is back when you could still smoke in the clubs, and literally my eyes are burning. Everything about me just reeks of smoke, like I just fought a fire. And I was just sitting there watching the waitstaff counting up the money and stuff. And I'd gone there for years, and I kind of knew everybody. I was just looking at everyone was a little older, everyone was a little fatter, and I was just all of a sudden I just got my head like going like, "Oh my God, I'm the guy. I'm not going to make it." And I was just like, I was going like, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Right.
And I forget what I had to do something the next day, but it was like terrifying. Like I went back to the comedy condo, just laying there going like, no, it's not going to happen. I just got to stay positive. Just keep writing jokes. And it's eventually you just keep doing a good job. They have to let you in somewhere.
In a weird way, that probably made you better, though. Like, I think if you think I'll never make it, it kind of lets you not give a fuck. And then you can get really loose and weird and try shit.
Well, definitely you have to try to make it with what you want to do, because then you won't have any regrets. Like, wow, this is what I do. This is how I do it. And people didn't
Right.
respond, so fuck it. But if you're actually trying to be what you think that they want, or some bad advice you get from a manager or an agent,
Oh, yeah.
Did
you have managers say that? They said that to you, like be something else.
Did I ever have that? No, I'm kind of blaming them. I think a lot of it was me. I would just look around and be like, all right, everybody's, there was this weird, I always talk about this. There was this weird time in the business for about 18 months where comedians and agents both dressed the same at the Laugh Factory. And it was like these black polyester fucking like slacks with like a tucked in electric blue button down. Like that was the fucking look. And I was just like, all right, I have blue eyes. This could bring out my eyes. And maybe this still be something that they like. And it was just always like,
I think you wore that on Letterman once.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But I just remember I would always get the same thing. He's funny. He just has a weird look. It's like, I know redheads aren't the lead. Go fuck yourself. I know what you're saying. So like there
Comedy.
so it was kind of that. And then like, I don't know. Somewhere I was just like, all right, this is not You know, when you put on the monkey suit and you still don't get the fucking pat on the head, you're like, all right, I hate myself at a whole new level, and I'm not doing this again. So then that's when I started going up, like, just sort of being who I was, and another 15 years went by, and then here I am.
Well, that's how it goes. But at least in our day, we can go kill and put it on YouTube. Back then, it was you were living and dying by that gatekeeper.
Yeah, and I remember when like your generation, you know, I don't know if it was yours. What generation is Bo Burnham? Is he before you?
I think he's younger. He's like 30.
He's younger than us, but I feel like he popped way before us.
Yeah, but I remember when he came out, like his first gig, he like totally sold out the Comedy Connection 6 shows, and there was all these older comics going, oh, this is bullshit. He didn't play his dues or anything. And I'm just sitting there going like, yeah, but he didn't have to do like, you know, this is kind of genius, right? And then now, like, you look at what he's doing. I mean, that guy's one of the, like, that.
He's talented.
Gerard Carmack, the way that was shot. Oh,
Unreal.
my God. I fucking loved that special. I really loved that special.
The second one. And then Chris Rock saw it and goes, do tambourine, which is the ultimate compliment. Huh?
What do you guys think about his quarantine special?
I thought it was great. Super impressive.
Yeah, it was cool.
No, it was great.
Insanely hard. He edits it, he shoots it, he lights it, he writes it. It's
he's like a triple-double guy in basketball. He does like everything. You know?
Yeah.
He's like,
and music.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
Yeah.
And he's 6'8".
On YouTube, just like with his little keyboard in his room.
And he's dreamy.
He's got a full head of hair.
There's nothing stopping him.
Oh, yeah.
I remember some of your earlier, like the bits that I was like, oh shit, Bill is so kind of different. Like the muffin bit where you're just punching the muffins in front of the woman's face. I remember that
That's a true story.
Dude,
I was on the Upper West Side. I still remember that. We went there, and I was fucking dying laughing. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, the lovely Nia, was just going like, what are you? It was one of those things. I was laughing so hard that she had no idea what I was laughing. She was laughing at how hard I was laughing. And then I was trying to explain it to her. And she's just like, you know, what if I just started punching them up? And she just like, why would you think that?
Well, that bit, and then the bit about when Malice in the Palace, and you defended the players, like the way you said were like athletes,
and still do.
Yeah,
and still do. Like that was that was like some of the great, like that was like a great revenge flick, like a movie,
right?
Like the fact that guy threw a beer on another man that size, he never would have done that in a bar. The only tragedy was he grabbed the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Which was the comedy of it.
Right.
You know, it was like.
But now they're friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The Ron Artest documentary, they're buddies.
Yeah.
Dude, I met that guy a couple of times. He like you don't even understand how big a human being those basketball players are, and like, you know, and you watch like, and all of a sudden you meet him, and then like the next night you're watching a game and you watch him try to take a charge and go flying across the floor. It's like there's another human being. I'm saying, you know, didn't flop, like he just stood there for the charge and just goes flying. It's just like,
if you rewatch that, there's a guy in the movie or whatever, the documentary, where he's like squaring up this little guy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy should have his own doc. The ball's on that guy. He's on the floor. Like, let's go. And it gets broken
giving
up.
A little bit of a reach. Yeah, to
Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal. Yeah.
Big dude.
Yeah, exactly.
7 feet.
He's lucky he threw that big, long. I mean, that's one of those guys. I remember this guy, I worked in a warehouse, and this guy, 6'6", punched me in the head. And I just so didn't think I was in his wheelhouse. And I kind of hopped back, and it just kept coming. He fucking clocked me in the back of the head. And I just saw these stars, and I just been thinking, like, God damn, this guy's a big fucking dude.
Why did he hit you?
Oh, here we go.
Because I was mouthing off to him. I totally deserved it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Totally
Ben Wallace. You're talking about bigger dudes. Like Ron Artest pushes Ben Wallace, and then he's like, "Yeah, Ben Wallace is bigger than Ron Artest."
Wow.
Yeah, Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace makes you go to the gym. You're like, I got to do something here. I can't have a guy walking around looking like that, and I'm doing this. Jesus,
it's hard to stay in shape doing this job. You're just always flying and shit. You're just always kind of out of it, you know.
Yeah, and then you're sad.
Yeah,
you just order bad food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And working out would actually make us feel better, but
you just got to get down there. I was going to do it. I didn't. I took the red eye last night, so I was just like,
the red eye.
Then I had a bad coffee at a place where that's all they do. And I was just like, yeah.
We got to get a food review on that coffee place.
I'm not doing that. Maybe I got a bad thing, but they were like, it's like an Italian, you know, it's like the coffee I got in Italy, which I just started drinking coffee this year.
What?
You never drank coffee?
No, I just never. I just.
How do you do morning radio and stuff?
And hangovers.
German Irish plow through it.
Damn.
Wow.
I started 33 with coffee, which was already late. But I can't believe you just started. What are you, 61?
No, I'm not quite 54. I might as well be. I'll be 61.
I should have gone higher for the comedic effect. I was too close. Sorry.
Oh, I just realized nobody laughed. They're like, "Are you?"
Fuck.
Yeah, I've been doing this probably longer than you've been alive.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did
And
it
here
the
I
right
sit
way.
with a root beer float.
I think about that Chappelle line twice a week where he goes, what you're doing is going to take longer, but when it hits, it hits. Because as a comic, just kind of struggling day to day.
He said that to you when you were on Chappelle's show?
I'm like fucking like 5 years older than him, but he started at 14.
Yeah.
So I still look at him like a big brother. And then every once in a while, like, I'll see something and it'll say his age, and I'm like, that's right, he's younger than I am.
Yeah.
But like as far as comedy years, he started like, he started when he was like 14.
Yeah,
Probably
14.
like 86 or something. So it's like
He's been a comic more than he's been like a human.
That's
It's
true.
crazy.
yeah.
What-
I've done. I'm past that too. I've been doing it 30 years. I'm 54. So first 23 and a half years of my life, I wasn't. Now, yeah.
Damn.
The racial draft is one of my favorites. That must have been fun as hell to shoot that.
Yeah, because it was one of those things where you're showing up and there's not that pressure because it's already written, and then you sort of open it up with like improv and like that little handshake that we did. We came up with that. Me and the other actor's name escapes me right now. Came up with that, and I was so excited when that killed. Big thighs, no felonies. Never got a laugh, but I had so many people come up and quoted that to me.
That's the only thing nice about YouTube comments is when you have a line in your act that never really hits, but you like it, and then in YouTube they'll quote that line, and I'm like, I needed that. That was nice.
Yeah.
Somebody noticed.
Yep.
But sorry, I cut off your Chappelle story.
It was boring.
All right. Well, my
Wasn't going
instincts were
anywhere.
right.
What was it like doing? I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, but I've never heard the Breaking Bad stuff. That must have been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Velcro.
If you've noticed my career, I haven't really done anything other than parrot troop into other people's genius.
Smart.
Couple sketches on Chappelle, couple episodes of Breaking Bad. I know I got a couple others in there. Oh, the Mandalorian. I mean, just like everybody's just like, hey.
And you've never seen Star Wars, right?
No, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
I saw it, but one time I saw it, I liked Empire. That's the first one I saw. I liked it, and then I saw the first one. I thought it was like kind of boring in the beginning when they were in the desert. I was like, oh my god, somebody shoot somebody, right? And then the last one, it was like by the time like the last one came out, I mean, I was like 16 or 17, so like. Like Ewoks and shit. I liked when they were going through the forest with like this. I was as far as like sci-fi. I liked Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I liked the. I believe they say dystopian tale.
There you go. The dark stuff.
What's the one with Clive Owen from a few years ago?
Children of Men.
That was fucking cool.
Great.
See, I
movie.
like watching
Yeah.
shit like that. And,
Yeah.
But that was Snowpiercer.
That was a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That's a great
the
movie.
Korean guy.
Yeah, a guy did Parasite.
I got a good French one you should see, A Prophet, which came out in 2009. It's all in French. It's fucking amazing.
Wreck.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
It's
there's your
fucking
rec.
amazing.
There's a-
Think about the new Blade Runner 2049.
I didn't see
The
it.
one that Ryan Gosling did. And, yeah, I loved it.
I didn't
Really?
see it.
Yeah, I know. I love all it.
The
Like,
original's amazing.
yeah,
You
that fucking movie
Really?
is the shit.
Thriller.
Yeah, that's a fucking. Well, he's going to prison. It's not a comedy.
What about Midnight Run?
Yeah, it's amazing movie.
All right.
So,
What are your favorite movies?
probably the same stuff that you guys like. I like, I don't mind like absurd shit. I do really like a lot of absurd stuff and silly stuff. That like all like that Adam McKay stuff before he started making these Oscar movies. Like a lot of that stuff. Like I just fucking love it. And
Is that Will Ferrell you talking?
yeah, all the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly. I mean, the two of them. Oh my god!
amazing.
And Ricky Bobby. Oh,
Talladega
like just the outtakes, like how funny and how fast those guys are.
with Sacha Baron Cohen too.
Yeah, Steve Carell, like 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
That scene that Kevin Hart has in that movie.
Yeah.
Kevin
Is this your boy? Is this your boy? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin fucking
In the
murdered
store?
that.
Yeah, he was so funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it was
Like
great
that
scene.
whole. I watched that the other day, and yeah, I don't know. I like. Yeah, I do like shit that's sort of, but I definitely my favorite stuff is stuff that's like tethered to reality. Like I love something like one of my favorite comedies that came out a few years ago was The Nice Guys.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie
Classic.
With
dude.
Ryan
Shane
Gosling
Black,
and
yeah. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Fucking great
Dude, Russell
movie.
Crowe's fucking amazing in that.
So good.
Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling's hilarious when he breaks his arm, that high-pitched scream he does. That's funny every time. And then the guy, I always forget his name, the guy playing the bad guy.
So
Wait.
creepy. John Boy or whatever.
Yeah, the choices he makes.
Yeah.
That line, if you don't tell me what I want, I'm going to start cutting off your fingers. And he like laughs. And if you don't tell us, he goes, we're going to start cutting off your fingers. He like gets into it. I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's a lunatic.
That's such an underrated movie, man. I love
It is.
that.
It is. And it's one of those ones that somehow came and went. But that is like like if you're on the road,
Yeah.
back in the day when you'd bring your DVDs out with the attachment and your fucking 30-pound laptop, you'd bring that one.
Yeah. I completely agree with the reality. You need something based in reality. Like I tried to watch Dune, and I know people love it and all that. But I just couldn't do it. I turned it off.
I think
Yeah,
that'd
when
be
it
in the
gets
books.
too far into the future that I don't get. I like the ones where it's the future, it's on Earth, and there's shit left over from when I was alive.
Right.
And I think that's they go into an old subway station or something like I like that type of shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna get torn apart in the comments for shitting on Dune. By the way, those fucking people.
I'm not saying it's
It's because
bad.
it's
It just
like
wasn't
Doing
for
a
me.
Mad Max one.
No, it's
Similar kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's like futuristic. Mad Max was a
Mad
cool
Max
ass
I
movie,
like.
though.
Speaking of things left over from the real world, the first two Mad Maxes, that was just
Thunderdome.
yeah, they were just them driving through like the Australian outback. just,
Yeah.
like-
Oh yeah,
I liked Waterworld
and Rat
too.
Rods, the original Rat Rods. Yeah.
Tina Turner's in that.
Yeah, you need that comfort watch on the road. I've been watching like Veep on the road. I just need something
Oh, yeah.
silly as hell on the road to just.
I've been watching that. I think it's called the Bear or something like
Oh,
that.
I just finished
good.
it.
Oh yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in, but
good.
like,
It's so well shot.
yeah, I know a couple of people that work in that. They go, "Is there really screaming like that?" They're like, "Yeah." Like I know this chef. She worked with some guy here in New York that was rated the worst person to work for.
Oh wow.
Whenever she brings up that she works with him, like almost other chefs are like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's not like that here."
Wow.
Like it's just like she was saying that she's a woman. That guy would come up and like step on her feet when she was fucking stuff up. It's just like I had football coaches like that in 3rd grade. I
Yeah,
remember
I mean-
they come and they fucking kick you in the side of your leg because you couldn't hold your little 3rd grade legs up.
That's basically what Gordon Ramsay is. He's just a football coach yelling at you. I worked as a waiter.
Oh,
for
did you ever
10
see
years.
that time that guy snapped?
No.
Because I used to sit there yelling at those guys as he's firing them, and they're literally like wrapping up all their fucking steak knives and shit. It's like, dude, you might want to be on the other side of the counter.
Yeah.
And at one point, this fucking, I think it was a New York dude, he's like, "You don't know me, motherfucker." He said, flipping out. And I was like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Somebody with some self-esteem. He's
Right.
kicking you off. You might as well go out with a spark.
Right, it's on
Go
TV
fuck
too.
yourself.
What's that guy, the bar rescue guy, the big guy?
John Taffer.
Taffer. Somebody went off on him once at like a Harlem restaurant, and I was like, all right, it's about time.
Yeah,
and
he's a big
he was
dude,
like,
but,
okay,
yeah.
let's change scenes. Let's move it along here.
That dude is entertaining though.
Hey, so yeah, he is. I love that guy. And I
Yeah.
love the way he cooks and all that shit. But it's just like there is something funny when somebody thinks they're in this fame
Yeah.
force field and that someone's not going to step through it. Just be like, "This is invisible. You're
Yeah.
a person, and I will
Yeah.
fuck you up." And it's like, "Oh, that's right. I haven't been a person for a while.
Yes, that's what.
I've just been sort of shuttled to and from the gig and over to the airport."
Yeah, that's why the Mike Tyson punch on the plane was so fun. You're like, yeah. What'd you think was gonna happen? You fuck with this
It's Mike Tyson.
murderer? Yeah, he'll kill you.
Yeah, that was
Saying
pretty
Twitter.
cool.
That was
How
awesome.
desperate was that? And he just he wanted to get hit so he could do the whole fucking thing with the guy filming it and shit. And like, it's really weird.
I know you'll take a punch from Mike Tyson for the clicks.
Oh,
That's
He
a bummer.
still looks terrifying.
Oh yeah, come on.
I know, but he's in shape. Some of those boxers, yeah, look at him.
Oh, that's a. I didn't know it was that many. He's going. Oh, that was all rights.
Jesus Christ.
Look at this fucking idiot.
oh my God.
First class.
If I was the captain of that plane, I would throw that kid out the fucking.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, we have the same haircut too. It's rough.
How did he get hit on the left, on the right side?
He's probably like this.
Oh yeah. Shit. That's that got the claim to fame. Like, can that get you laid? Can you go to a bar and go, I'm the
No.
Mike Tyson guy? I bet it can.
I'm the guy who got the shit kicked out of him.
There's a lot of dumb ladies out there.
Just so you know, it's been proven I can't defend you if there's an intruder coming in. Would you like to go home with me?
Now, word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. You have to take care of your mind, folks. We spend so much time taking care of our skin, our hair, our teeth, and so little care of the most important body part, the brain. How well you take care of your brain affects how you experience life. Investing time and energy in mental health is crucial to being happy. Eating right, working out, and getting plenty of sleep are a good start, but no substitution for talk therapy. BetterHelp makes online therapy accessible, convenient, and affordable. We love therapy. It's good for you. Don't let those bags pile up. Everybody's got shit in their life. Everybody's got drama. You got to make it work. You got to be healthy, and that's how you do it, is talking about it. That's how you get it out. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and chat therapy sessions. You can choose to not see anyone on camera, and it's much more affordable than in person. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. We Might Be Drunk listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/drunk. That's BetterHelp.com/drunk. Get on it.
We Might Be Drunk is sponsored by Fanimal. This is the summer you're going to go out and do shit. If you want the best price for the best shows this season, use Fanimal. Fanimal has tickets to everything with no fees. The price you see is the price you pay. For hot tickets to a Dodger game or Lady Gaga, Fanimal is always the cheapest option. Fanimal's group purchase makes it easy to get your friends together. Set a size for you and your group. You choose a number of tickets you want to pay for yourself, then invite friends. When the group size is met, everyone gets charged and receives their ticket. If the minimum size isn't reached in time, nobody gets charged. Don't commit until your friends do. Fanimal has amazing customer service. Don't take our word for it. Check out their hundreds of 5-star reviews. The next time you need tickets, go to Fanimal.com and sign up with code DRUNK for $20 of credit toward your first purchase. Check out Fanimal and experience more.
Fanimal. All right.
Support the show and get $20 off your first purchase with the code DRUNK at Fanimal.com. Looking for something different to cover up that hole in your wall? Displate is that cool new metal poster that you'll want in every room. They have millions of cool designs available featuring gaming, movies, comics, and anime. Displate also features officially licensed designs including Star Wars, Netflix, and many more. Lots of cool stuff you can get on this site. It only takes 20 seconds to hang a displate. No power tools needed, no damages, no frustrations. You know, I'm a very irritable person. I have no housing skills, so this comes in handy. Once you mount one, you can switch out a new plate in a flash. With every one that you buy, Displate plants a tree. Click the link in our description to see some of our favorite displays and save up to 29%. Get 25% off when you buy 1 or 2 and 29% off when you buy 3 or more. Discounts will automatically be applied to your cart when you click the link or use code DRUNK when you visit Displate.com. That's Displate.com, code DRUNK, or click that link in our show notes.
Yeah, that's what's fun about, like...
Well, he threw no punches.
No.
That's the thing. So, like, you know, I don't know. Yeah. I think that you should be able to do that just in life. Mm-hmm. And there should be no lawsuit. And, like, the judge should just be like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Stop wasting my time. I'm fining you $75 for wasting this court's time. Get the fuck out of here. And
right.
Next, go learn how to fight or shut the fuck up. Next.
That's a better society that way, I think. I think it kind of regulates itself. But
yeah, like hockey.
There you go.
Is hockey your number one sport? Boston? I feel like Boston people love hockey.
Dude, I love them all.
Yeah.
I love, like...
You post about baseball a lot.
Yeah. I've been watching the Red Sox. And I you know what's weird is I actually enjoy a struggling season more so than them. You know, it's fun to watch when they win, but I just love watching like a manager trying to plug the holes. Like, dude, our entire fucking starting rotations out. Devers was out. Kike Hernandez, everybody's out. Like, I was watching the other night. I was watching them. They were playing the Astros, right? And they were just kind of. I was going like, "There's like 5. Who the fuck are these? Who's playing second? Where's Trevor Story?
Right?
Like, what happened to him? Like, you just like this year with the Sox, it was like if you miss like 3 games, you come back, you don't even recognize the team. It's like the Worcester Red Sox, and you're just like, all right, who are we playing tonight? Now we got the Yankees. Fuck.
Was it nerve-wracking being? I saw you did a little commentating.
You killed. That was awesome.
No, it it's fun, you know. It's fun and it's like surreal. And no, I would like. I'll tell if I had to announce any sport. There's definitely periods where I would pick different sports, but just generally speaking, if I can't pick the era, I would definitely do baseball because I just think there's just something like so much fun about like, you know, like when there's like a rain delay and those guys just have to like, you know, if you get like a guy that's lived life like Hawk Harrelson and, you know,
R.I.P. Vince Scully, man.
Just, yeah, I know. Vince Scully was
legend.
Yeah. And he said the most painful fucking thing I ever heard, and thank God it was him, you know. A little roller to Buckner. And it's just like behind the bag and it's whatever night or whatever, and the Mets winning. And the greatest thing was when the Sox finally won in 04. Like I can watch that and just I can be amazed at how like they asked Clemens one time, what's the most amazing thing you ever saw? He was like, us losing the 86 World Series. I mean, dude, we were literally down to the last strike, and we let up like 9 singles in a row. It was just fucking, it was bananas. And a lot of people forget we went up 3-0 in Game 7. And I still had hope because I was a young Red Sox fan, and I missed the Bucky Dent thing. I was watching him that year, but I didn't watch. I just remember asking my mother, I go, did we win? And she went, just heartbroken look. And it took her like another 12 years to fully give herself into loving them again.
Wow.
No, dude, that was you know, and that's back when you could like really just like, there was like great sports. Like when the Yankees went up, we played a 5-game series and they came up and they won all 5 in a row and they called it the Boston Massacre.
Yeah.
Like you could never, like, you know, isn't that, you know, making light of actual match? Like I remember that wide receiver, yeah, it's going to be a war this Sunday. And people are like, there's actually people fighting real wars. It's just like, I understand that. You
let them get amped up.
Yeah.
Two things can exist.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't even mad when I'm a Yankees fan, but I wasn't mad when the Red Sox won. You know,
that's what all you Yankee fans said because you didn't want to take the shit. Oh, I'm happy for you guys. You all fucking went underground.
Took your Yankee cap off
I
slowly.
could not find a Yankee fan in 04. 03, they were all over the place. Hey, fucking whatever that guy's name is. Because it didn't stick. Aaron Boone.
Oh, that was amazing.
Because everybody thinks like that one hurt. It's like it didn't. Because it didn't have time to marinate like a fine wine.
That walk-off was
It was just
badass.
like he did it. And then it was just in the very next year, you know, we hung the biggest choke fucking ever.
It's the biggest choke in sports history.
Just because it's like a $200 million team with so many future Hall of Famers. And like that's also why I don't get mad at what the Astros did, because what the Red Sox and Yankees did, we were fielding $180 million, $200 roided up free agent teams, and we were just winning these championships. Like I never even watched, when we played the fucking Colorado Rockies in 2007, I think we swept them. I didn't even watch it. I was like, this is stupid. Like we've literally become, like we can't call them the evil empire anymore. It's just like, you know,
you can't say evil
it's like,
empire.
Dad, you're a drug. It's like, Dad, you're a drug addict, and then like 2 days later, you're fucking doing heroin with them, going, you need to get your shit together. You know.
But baseball was never better than in the '90s when McGuire and Sosa were just hitting bombs.
That was big.
And
It was fucking amazing.
And Bonds, I mean, when you knew Bonds was going to hit there's going to be a dude in a kayak chasing a home run ball every day.
Yes.
Dude,
It was awesome.
I went to see McGuire that year down in Qualcomm Stadium. It was Cardinals versus the Padres, and me and this other comedian Dan Smith went down, and I think he hit number 28 at the end of May, right? But Aaron Judge is kind of on that pace, so. I remember everybody came out for like, the place was like 3/4 full for batting practice. And he came up and the whole place was like, wow. And he got up there like just fucking V.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. Everyone was going nuts. And the first pitch came in, he laid down a bunt. And everybody goes, oh, and he just laughed. And dude, people were hitting home runs. But when he started hitting them, like other people hit home runs, you were trying to catch them. He was hitting these fucking lasers. He's like, I don't want to touch that. I'm gonna let that go off 3 people. And then when it hits the ground, I'll try to beat an 8-year-old up for the fucking thing.
They need to let him in the Hall of Fame. They need to let all, because at a certain point, it's like they're in anyway.
My buddy said, he's not in this business, but he kind of said it. He said steroids saved baseball.
Interesting.
Because the only thing that was going on that was positive after that strike in 04 when they fucked over the Expos and they canceled the World Series was Cal Ripken beating Lou Gehrig's record. And then after that, it was nothing. And then it was just like, dude, that was the only year I can remember, probably since the 1930s or 40s, when people just listened to the fucking radio.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, people paid attention to the dog days of summer. Like the way, like when him and then Sosa came out of nowhere in like June or July, and it was like, oh, it was great.
It's
then you got that whole racial thing. Like, who you rooting for?
Exactly.
Who you rooting for? I'm like, I'm rooting for the big redhead. Can I do that? He looks like me.
Have you seen
Both on drugs.
Have you seen the Sosa doc?
No.
It's fucking brutal.
I didn't even know they had it.
Well, I think it's Jeremy Schaap is interviewing him, and like Sosa's white now. He like bleached it. He looks.
What?
Yeah, it looks weird.
Like vitiligo? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and he's
white
like,
one.
you lied. You're on steroids. He's like, I don't know what you're doing. It's like 60 minutes of him being like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, he won't admit it.
Whoa.
Like McGuire. Yeah, I don't
And
know
he
what
went blue eyes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. The
The
world's a
first hole
fucked
is
up
all.
place. The world's a fucked up
Holy
place. and,
Jesus
shit.
Christ. Yeah.
I hope he's happy. You know.
I'm sure he is.
I think
Hey,
he's
God bless him.
yeah.
a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, these guys are Hall of Famers without that shit. So it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that was
No, I always thought Barry Bonds was a victim of the steroid era because he was the guy, and then everybody else started taking roids, and they passed him. He's like, all right, here's me on roids. Here's 73.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? Your head is huge.
But they all, you know what fuck baseball is? They wouldn't let, like, basketball and football they were posting shit on, like, Instagram, YouTube, all that shit. Baseball was so anal about sharing anything, so you couldn't get new fans, I don't think. That fucked baseball, too, on top of the no more
Also,
roids.
like, Bird, Magic, Dr. J
Yeah.
saved the NBA, and then it just became, like, it just so naturally happened that the Celtics and the Lakers, just like with Red Auerbach, and was it Jerry Buss back then? Who was the guy that was just like, I mean, just every move he made.
Jerry West?
Jerry, was it, who was Jerry
Buss
West?
was
Ryan?
the owner. West was the GM.
So West, what
Yeah.
the moves that those guys made and the players that they got,
Yeah.
and you know what, it was the worst thing for fucking basketball. And just the big what if is if Len Bias didn't die.
I know.
And that was a guy that like would go head to head with Jordan in those fucking those ACC games, Big East ACC games. Maryland was he in the was Maryland in the ACC back then? I can't remember, but they would play each other. It was just fucking unreal. And all the Celtics fans, we were all psyched. It was like, oh my god, finally a Celtic who can dunk. You know, it was like finally somebody's gonna be above the rim. We had well, we had Chief, and Chief would just fucking the one leg up and fucking would throw it down. Like, that's what we had. And it's just like, if that guy came in 87 after we had that, and if Larry Bird didn't blacktop his own fucking driveway.
What?
If he didn't,
That's
he's
how
so
he
rich,
fucked up
he
his
couldn't hire
back.
help.
What? I didn't know that.
It was his
No,
mom.
he was funny that way. Like, he'd be in the Olympic Village for the Olympics, and he left going, I'm going to pay him fucking $9 for a beer. And like 6'9" would just walk out of the village. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? You going to some dive. So there's a way like you respect it, but just as a fan, like it's just like he got old overnight, and then
Kale got old overnight too with the injuries, you know.
yeah, and what could have been, and I'm not saying we would have beat the Lakers in '87, but if we had Len Bias, just what the Lakers would have had to have done. And they're just old school guys. Like, what I love is Michael Cooper does the local sports out there, and his hatred for the Celtics, I love it.
Yeah.
He fucking hates. It's not this thing now where everybody hangs out and is friends, and it's just like, well, I can't beat you. What if I join your team next year?
Right.
And it's like a foregone conclusion, some of these things, or you at least know who's going to be in the finals. Like all those fucking Pistons that I hated. I love that they all stuck together. Like, I fucking hated Bill Laimbeer. I love the guy now. I
had him as a guest on a sports show back in the day that he was on, and he first off, we had such a small budget, we had to trick him into staying for a second episode, so we just switched people out without telling him. So he stayed for like an extra hour and was furious. And then at one point I asked him, like, do you talk to Bird ever? Like, if you see him, he's cool. He's like, no, we'll never be cool.
That'd be funny if you tried to leave and
Yeah.
you're boxing him.
I like,
Box
you know
him
what,
in.
he said that he had the best response to the Pistons walking off and not shaking hands when the Bulls ended. He goes, do you go back and look and regret that? He's like, no, those guys, when we were winning it, saying we weren't real champions. He goes, fuck them. That's the best excuse I've heard for that. But I remember him, as much as he did all that cheap shit, that fucking shot from the top of the key, he hit it every fucking time. And he was like 6'11". A lot of big guys didn't have a shot from that far out.
Yeah.
Because he was underneath banging back when you could do that. And didn't have that fucking safe space that they have underneath. So now everybody dunks and there's nobody there. Half the people are getting out of the fucking way because they don't want to be on Instagram. It was like back in the day, you had to be a fucking man. You had to go into the trees, and these guys would like, the Lakers would, I mean, the Pistons had a thing one night, they were just like, yeah, no layups tonight. And they just sent the message in the first quarter, like, I don't give a fuck if I foul out. You're not going to play for the rest of the season. It's like, all right, guys, let's try to work the perimeter. Another good nickname, Andrew Toney was known as the Boston Strangler.
Wow.
And before the three-point line, and he came out, he had the low-cut Dr. J Converse, and he would go out there. And when he got hot, dude, that guy was fucking unconscious. And like to this day, I guess Danny Ainge, I mean, people, playing against Jordan. He goes, yeah, Jordan, you know, about Andrew Toney. he still tells stories. Fucking white Danny Ainge can't even touch the guy. And even when he was in his face, he would just like, it was like Jeter. When Jeter would, when it was a big moment, you know, playing the Red Sox, like all Red Sox fans, it wasn't, you were just like, what's he going to do? Is it going to be a single, a double? Is he going to jump on the first pitch and pull it and hit a fucking... You just knew he was going to deliver. And I got a buddy of mine, a Yankee fan, and he sent me the doc thinking it was going to bug me, you know, that this whole 5-part... I'm like, I can't wait to watch that. I go, every Red Sox fan, low-key, fucking love that. There's no... You couldn't hate, like, there's just a level of greatness where it transcends your rival and just like... As much as this guy is killing us, like I am gonna be talking about this guy when I'm 80. And plus, I love those ones where an athlete like him or Jordan is in control of the doc, and then like the sports writers all whine and go like, "Well, this is just like a fluff piece." It's just like, dude, you've been telling his story for fucking 25. I would love to hear his version,
right?
You know, I loved hearing what Jordan, looking back, thought of the whole thing. I don't hear some fucking out-of-shape sports writer and his perception and his little soliloquies and metaphors.
I loved you shitting on Stephen A. Smith. There was a clip of you.
I like Stephen A. Smith.
I know, but the clip is hilarious. I like him too, but when you're making fun of him for... He posted a boxing clip where he's clearly can't box.
That was not good for business, yeah.
It's your whole job.
The only guy who throws a worse punch than that is me. And I would never post. Like, that would end my comedy career. But
that was... dude, Stephen A. is like... He's like pro wrestling on the mic. I love him too. I mean...
Dude, that guy is literally the only pulse left, I feel like, on that channel.
Yeah.
You know,
they let everyone go.
I know. They still have some of the old guys that do shows on there that I do like. But, like, I don't know. ESPN kind of went the way of, like, MTV. When MTV stopped
Central
showing, like, music and stuff, they kind of lost their way to, like... I think a lot of ways all sports did with just allowing everybody to pile on the same teams, except for like the NFL is good. NHL is good too. But like basketball and baseball, I just wish they would just they'd find that happy medium between the owners and players having power. And you could just sort of, you know, go back to like, you know, just like these guys are Royals, these guys are Yankees. These like those Royals-Yankees series in the late 70s, early 80s were fucking great. And but I think because so many regular fans now play fantasy and they're always grabbing players and shit, that's just the new mindset. So I always come off as this old guy like, in the back in the day. Right. This is how like fucking empty my life is. I actually, I was watching, I shouldn't say this for lacrosse fans, but I never watched lacrosse. I actually sat down and watched it. I was like, this is a great fucking sport.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's
a tough game. Hey,
as a goalie, how do you stop that fucking thing?
Yeah, right.
That
just
stupid
whelp.
fly swatter.
Yeah. You want to see pure hatred, read the comments anytime ESPN on Instagram posts like a women's basketball clip. That is like the most hateful people. That's like a step below ISIS.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that was a good catch.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ever watch the Little League World Series?
I love that shit.
Love it.
Did you see that fat kid? He goes, my name's so-and-so. My favorite player is this, and I hit dingers.
I've never seen
just
that.
like, I fucking love this kid.
You gotta love a fat kid.
With swagger?
Yeah.
Come on. I also love a sloppy baseball player.
Yeah.
Like a sloppy pitcher. Just some guy.
David Wells was our guy.
Yeah,
Pitch
I
a
was just
perfect
talking to
game
Verzi
hungover.
about all of that, all the
Yeah.
sloppy pictures when I was growing up, and you knew they had like all the condiments and shit, something here, doing this, touching here. Like I loved when that guy in the Yankees had that shit there, and I actually heard that players don't mind that because they have more control of the ball, and it's like, well, I'd rather this guy throwing strikes than hit me in the fucking head. Oh, there he is. That's the kid.
This kid's adorable.
Hi, my name's Alfred D'Elia. At home they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
I had dingers. He
I
prepared
mean, he's
that
either
all
going to
night.
the MLB or fucking Worldwide Wrestling Federation, whatever they fucking call it, the WWE.
It's like The Sandlot. Remember that the redheaded kid in The Sandlot stole the whole movie.
Yeah.
I just rewatched that on a plane.
Baseball movies for some reason are like the best sports
Oh,
movies.
the best.
Like Bull Durham.
They had a run
Yeah.
too. Rookie of the Year, Angels in the Outfield. It was
Yeah.
like 10 of them.
Yeah, and they
Major League.
also because it kind of toes the line of like the pamphlet for this country. You know what I mean? It's for hey, everybody can fucking make it. Then it kind of ignores all the fucking ugliness of it. It just kind of it's sort of the Santa Claus version of like America. It's like yeah, that does exist, but there's this other shit here. So it's they're very patriotic
Yes.
type of thing.
Dave Attell's joke, Little League World Series, or as I call it, the pedophile Super Bowl. Something like that.
I feel like Attell gets
He's still the fucking greatest.
Still the
dude.
best.
I think he
we
gets a
blow
quote
him
in
all
here like
day.
every week. There's always an Attell line. He's the best.
Yeah, he still is.
He invented that, or as I call it, the stingray, or as I call it, the Puerto Rican of the sea. Because he stabbed Steve Irwin. That was his Steve Irwin joke.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
he's still the best. Didn't you do something for the troops with Attell?
I probably did a long time ago. I just remember anytime I think I'm getting good, I watch him and I'm like, all right, I have work to do.
The
This
best.
guy's- Yeah, he's the fucking.
It's so pure, you know?
It just every joke is just fucking perfect. And yeah, I remember when I first came to New York in like 94, 95, and Greg Fitzsimmons was breaking down the city, like how to get in at the clubs, and Greg Fitzsimmons really helped me out, and he was saying, and then as far as like the stand-up down here, he goes, basically every white comic wants to be Attell, every black comic wants to be Chappelle. That's all you need to know. Like those were like the two guys, but like, there was all those other guys that were also killing it,
You got a crazy class. I might be off, but it's like all the tough crowd, and Norton, obviously, and then even like Todd Barry, Mark Maron.
Oh yeah, yeah. I loved all of those guys. Still love all of those guys.
Yeah.
And like there was just so many, great comics, and it was just like I don't know. The world was a lot smaller then, if that makes any sense. Where it's just like you were just sort of doing it. And there wasn't all of this. I got to build a brand, and I
Right.
need to film this, and you want to shoot this on an iPhone and all that. You just kind of, you were just trying to get funny, and then there was like every once in a while there was just these industry showcases, and you'd go up there and fucking do your 10 minutes.
That was
And,
everything.
and the manager's like, dude, work clean. Let them see the sitcom. Let them see the sitcom. And you'd kind of buy into that. And then you'd watch Attell go up and you'd just be like, I'm a fucking pussy. Like, what am I doing here?
And then the sad part is Attell sitting off in the wings going, I'm a fucking hack. Nobody's happy.
He really,
I love when he calls you up. He goes, is anybody doing a bit like that? It's like, Dave, nobody's doing a bit like you. Like he checks out his jokes.
Right.
I remember I was in a car with him once, and he had a joke about like vaginas snoring. And he's like, text Tom Papa to see if he has that bit. I'm like, Tom definitely doesn't have that bit.
Right.
That's a dude who definitely doesn't have that one.
Women
But,
like vibrators because it sounds like they're listening. Sorry,
the best.
I cut you off.
No, he's Fitzsimmons is such a.
we
That's, so
love Greg.
he came right before you from Boston.
Yeah, he was. As far as in Boston, there was that group of comics was there was Rogan, Greg Fitzsimmons.
Dane?
Nope, Dane actually started right out of high school, so he started in 90. I thought he started in 91, but like Dane was more my generation. And who else was up there? Like Jim Loletta,
DePaulo?
Todd Parker, fucking Robbie Prince, all of that. Those are like, all of that crew. And then after that, it was I came up with like Bobby, Dane, Patrice. Gary Gulman came like right after that. Orny, And no, it was a great.
That's a crazy class.
Yeah, it was great. And then when we moved, and then Jersey had like Florentine and Norton and all that, and then we all just sort of came into New York at the same time, and yeah, and then all of that shit happened.
Yeah, the Patrice doc has little snippets. Thank God somebody was rolling a camera back then. There's a scene where you guys are all hanging on the sidewalk, and then Rich Voss walks up and goes, "What is this, a couple of middles?" 0 laugh, a pause, and then everybody laughed at him. How bad that bombed. And I was like, oh, that's such a great little moment that I don't feel like we have anymore.
Were fucking brutal, Tito. It was so stupid. When I look back now, I mean, it's funny, but it was so stupid. We didn't write one script, one sketch. All we did was try to destroy each other's confidence. It was just such like, yeah, it was like a bunch of abused like rescue dogs all put in the same, with like one pork chop there. It was just fucking... Yeah, dude, I used to fucking have anxiety going down to the cellar, and I was just thinking of everybody. I would think like 3 fucking insults for every, just to kind of get, I was like, okay, if it comes at me, I'm going to get it off me, and I'll send it this way, and, you know, but what if Bobby's not there? Bobby's not there, I can't use that. Like, you look, you know, and you couldn't look at the lineup. Like,
right.
You can't, so you had no idea it was going to be down there.
And then the worst is when you say one and they're like, "You prepared that." Like, I did. I thought I was going to be smarter. Shit.
We missed that. We really missed out on that. Like I guess when I first got in, I remember Colin Quinn and Keith like beating up on me when I was like brand new, and I was like, "This is amazing. This is it," you know. But my first.
And somehow it became like toxic.
I know.
This is bad, and then like you go in there now, and it's just like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, I'm not going to romanticize like it was all, because I was comics going to me like, why do you sit down there? Just go down and do your spot. And like, and if I was a healthier person, I would have been like, this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying this. Like, I'd like to come down here and feel good about myself, not feel worse. Oh my God, the amount of shirts I could never wear again.
Right.
It was just like, I remember one time. I think it was Keith. Keith was getting so trashed for what he had on. He just stood up in the middle of the pounding and just ran out. And I remember, you can't fucking, you can do that? I didn't know you could leave. I thought you could just sit here until it was over.
Damn. I saw Ted do that once. He sat down, everybody made fun of his sweater, and he just got up and sat at the booth and had dinner. And I was like, damn, that guy's healthy.
Yes. He was like, this is not working for me, and I'm leaving this. He broke up with us.
Right.
Got out of the relationship.
I remember when I auditioned at the cellar, the second I sat down, I didn't know these guys. And Keith goes, "Look at him. Look how scared he is." And I was like, holy shit. Everyone's laughing at me. I'm like, this is my audition. This is crazy.
And he was right.
I was terrified.
Keith was really mean.
So funny. But he was good at it.
I know, I'm fucking around.
He really was good at it. I mean, he really...
that mean laugh.
Oh, yeah.
He just enjoyed crushing you.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but my first night there, my first real paid spot, he was hosting, and he brought me up, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat." And I was in the wings, like, oh shit, here we go. And he goes, "Jerry Seinfeld." The crowd goes apeshit. He goes, I'm kidding. It's some guy. And he brought me on, and I bombed.
Keith.
Good times.
I went up one time down there, and it was just this night everybody showed up. It was like Jerry Seinfeld, Ray Romano, Chris Rock, and then Dave Chappelle.
Jesus.
And I just kept getting bumped. And then it was like me. And the crowd was so spoiled. By the time they were doing the intro, people were just looking past me going like, who is it? Is Eddie Murphy coming out?
Right.
Please welcome Bill Burr.
I do feel like if you go after them and you try really hard, I think they like it.
It depends.
You just address it. You just address their disappointment. I just went on stage and I'm like, that's right, motherfuckers. This is what you paid for. Welcome back to reality.
Yeah.
Well, I remember following, I think it was Rock, Chappelle, and then me. And once they're done going, like, that's their bathroom break. They just saw a show.
Sure.
But then once they sit back down, it's house money. Like, this is their vacation.
Yep.
They're okay with it.
Yeah, that's true. I took a girl on a date once to the cellar, and it was one of those nights where all these people, Jon Stewart pops in, Trevor Noah, all these people, and it was her first time there, and she thought that's how it was. And then I brought her again, and she was like, ugh, this was brutal. It's just like you and some other guy.
Yeah, that's not, if the first time you go down there, like, that happens, like, yeah. I saw people in the crowd by the time they brought the third one up. I remember Godfrey was hosting, and he was just like, all right, we got a special guest. You might recognize this guy from Everybody Loves Raymond. Please welcome Ray Romano. And the next one's like, okay, this next guy you might recognize from the Seinfeld show. Please welcome Jerry Seinfeld. This next guy you might recognize from the Chris Rock show. Please welcome Chris Rock.
Wow.
And I was like, this next guy you might recognize from the Chappelle show. Please welcome Dave Chappelle. And then it was just like, this next guy's name is Bill Burr. He's been on VH1. And it's a good time to take a shit.
Well, hey, I mean, I know you got to go.
No, I don't have to go.
Oh, okay.
This
want to push
is
it.
fucking...
Is that a Mitch Hedberg joke, by the way?
What's that?
You might recognize me more from
The
rather
store.
than Tonight Show from the store.
Yeah.
There's another guy. Jesus Christ.
Did you know him well?
No, I didn't. But I remember the first time I saw him, the guy that went on before him was just like, he was running the room, and and this room got hot, and it totally went to his ego, and he just wasn't funny, and he was hateable. One of those people hate, as he was, like Patrice used to say, guys like that, they walk before they even talk. They're walking to the stage, they're already bombing.
Yeah.
I always like he was.
I've had that.
He talked about this guy in Boston like that. He had me, guys always had me cry and laugh. And it's just like, Bill, you just seen. It's like they hated him before they even saw him. And I knew exactly what he was talking, because we've all been that guy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, I was just thinking about that.
And
It's-
he, I don't know. It's just like those moments where, like, when you're that guy, because we've all been that guy. You have to figure your way out of it. Oh my God, the sleepless nights. I just remember going home to my walk-through bedroom and just laying there with my eyes open, going like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
They hated me. They fucking hated me. And but the only good thing was, like, New York, you got up like the next night, it's like get back on the bike and shake it off, and then you have a good set, and you're like, okay, good, I still know how to do it.
That's the only way.
Yeah, because
Get
you
back
start
up.
thinking, like, did I forget
Right.
how to do this? Have I just hit a fucking brick wall, and it's just not going to go
Yeah.
any better than this? Like, there was just so many of those. So many of those.
I had 2 in a row at the Cellar on Sunday that were not good, and I was kind of like, "Wow, it's rare that you get back to back."
You're
It's
doing
like,
new stuff.
yeah, but I'm in the McDougal room. Then I go around the corner of VU. I was like, "Man, I did kind of bad on both of them," and you're like, "Fuck, I got to wait till Monday."
yeah.
And that's not long, but we get spoiled with the stage time.
Yeah, yeah. And then you start doing that thing where you look at yourself like, what is it about me that they hate? Maybe I could change something about me, like my outfit or my delivery,
face.
my face. But it's just
Give it
you.
up for yourselves.
That's
That's what you open up with.
I hate when people say thank you for supporting live comedy. I don't know why that bugs
I
me,
hate
but it
that.
really bugs me.
Because it's false sincerity.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst when someone's bombing, he goes, I like you guys. Because he obviously hates them.
You guys are fun.
Yeah.
You guys are fun as brutal.
Yeah.
There was comics that I saw, they said that every set in the same place, no matter how it was going, so it'd be funny, and you just go, he's going to say you guys are fun, and I know he's not having fun, and you just watch the guy up there just like looking like he's got a fucking pancreatitis, and he's just like, you guys are fun. And like, that's one of those things where you would get so teased. Like, I used to end my sets, you guys, I had a blast, or you guys were a blast, and I remember saying that. I said it for like years, and nobody ever gave me shit. And then Keith, fucking mean-ass Keith, was standing at Stand Up New York, and he just goes, he yelled, of course he yells across the room. He's like, really? Did you really have a blast? And I was like,
Oh, jeez.
I was like, no, I haven't had a blast on stage for months. And I never said it again.
Yeah.
I had a couple reality checks at fucking stand up New York like that. I remember saying to Dave, I was going, yeah, they're really tough. They don't want to go with you. And he just went up with like the edgiest shit ever. And then he goes, and when he looked at me, he goes, how do you feel now, Bill? Like a coward? Something like that.
Damn.
And yeah, but he was teaching me like a lesson. And I just feel like nowadays someone would just go to Twitter and be like, and he said that, and he had a position of power.
Right.
It's like, no, he's fucking throwing you in the deep end.
Yes.
And tell you to stop being such a bitch. It's like, you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to
don't know.
open for Dave, and I remember he'd bring me on stage at the end of the shows and like force me to riff with him, and I'm like, I'm not equipped to riff with Dave Attell, you know. But he was just, it was like him being like, let me help you, let me try to make you more comfortable.
Yeah, and let's go up here and have fun, and and he's like helping you to get better. Like it's such a rare thing when somebody is as good as he is, that like he also has like he gives a shit about other comics and stuff. He's like, it's funny, you watch his act, it's like so dark and everything, but he's like one of the biggest hearted guys you're ever gonna meet. And Jesus Christ, I've known him almost 30 years. I've never heard one fucking bad thing about him. Ever.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, every comedy club I go
tonight
to.
he'll get arrested for
He just jinxed him.
He's sex
I remember
trafficking.
the New York Times wrote a piece on him that was, I think it was Zinnemann wrote this like really flattering piece on Dave, saying he's like the best club comic. And I said, Dave, like, this is so cool. And he goes, this is when it all comes crashing down. Like, this is, they build you up to just, he's like, they're going to kill me.
He's waiting. He's always
he's
nervous.
not the greatest club comic. He's the greatest There's no
I agree.
to like clarify that.
For sure. But there was something magical about Dave in like an intimate, like smaller venue, because like he's so fucking quick, you know?
Yeah.
The best.
No, yeah, his crowd work. It just his jokes, his crowd work, whatever. It's just he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Just standing there talking, killing.
I know. The best is when he doesn't like him and he gets angry and he's still killing, but angrily. And he's doing that thing where he slams the microphone base.
Oh, it's the best.
The stand. Oh.
I mean, one time he was doing jokes and they just weren't getting him, and all the comics were dying laughing. And then he just did one of his lighter ones. You know, and he goes, let me do a little palate cleanser here. And then he just does a lighter joke and the crowd laughs. And as they're laughing, he just goes, ha, ha, he, ha, ha, hoo.
Yeah.
And the crowd kind of got it. He's saying, oh, he thinks we're simplistic babies. And they kind of upped their game and went along with like the rest of his, because they were kind of noticed the comics were laughing and they weren't, you know, and it's just like, you know, even a crowd will get like low self-esteem. Like, all right, we need to be better. We need to fucking step up our comedy listening here.
Yeah, I was telling you once he did a joke and he was murdering, and one joke got like a B laugh instead of an A, and he looked at me and he goes, "We'll be right back." You know what that means, but it's the funniest thing. He would also pull the mics in and go, "This is the funny lever." That was
I remember
fun, too.
it was my birthday one night at the Cellar. I was just like smoking a cigar on the steps with Mike Vecchione, and Dave comes out of nowhere and he goes, "You had a good set, but it wasn't that good."
Oh, man.
I saw him one time riffing on this Asian woman sitting in the crowd and just built this whole backstory. He goes, are you up there with your adoptive parents in Connecticut? And he goes, communicating through your cello.
Oh, my God.
Dude, she died laughing.
Yeah.
Back when you could
man.
like just fucking, I don't know, that wasn't like, it was just considered, like it's still considered funny, but it's just weird. Every once in a while, there's like, that person trying to get on page 6.
Of course.
About their audience experience.
But as you said, like he's got the rep of being a great guy on top of it. Like comics would not stand for people coming for Dave, you know?
No.
Yeah, no
way.
There's no way.
Yeah, no.
You hope.
Because he's a good dude and he's a genius.
Never
and he's-
underestimate show business and self-preservation.
Exactly. Look at Louis.
It's and a whole bunch of other people who got like, dragged under with some. I mean, one guy. I don't want to name names because I just want to get it going again. But like, you know, one person just went on a date and tried to get laid. I mean, it's not illegal. All of a sudden, it just became this incident.
I know.
That was just like, what the like? What are we even doing here?
It's sad, and that person's the good guy.
Yeah.
The person who wrote that
We're
article.
talking about Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the wall.
Yeah. 38 charges. My question, where's the 39? I need 39 before I'm convinced. Some people are you can't defend. Yeah, obviously.
for sure.
I'm talking about the
I've heard people defend Cosby.
Really?
I was on one podcast and the guy's like, "Let's be." I'm like, I'm out of here.
No, because I gotta be honest with you, dude. When that shit came out, like I was in the writers' room on a show, and like even one of the writers' wife had a story about him trying, insisting, like was at the buzzer telling her to come down, and she just had this gut feeling. It was like no, and he was screaming at her through the fucking.
Oh shit!
It is weird when it's like the cleanest comic.
Of
who's
course.
like the most evil fuck.
That's why I love that Eddie Murphy joke he did on SNL. Who would have thought all these years later, Cosby would be in jail and I would be America's dad?
It's amazing.
Well, I think the thing America hates the most is a phony. Like when Ellen is dancing and shit, and then it comes out that she's the biggest coos ever. People are like, "Oh, okay, we were lied
is
to."
she?
I don't know. I'm not saying she is, but
I mean, dude, the grind of doing that show and having to be happy. And one time, I always looked at it like one time she just couldn't do it anymore. So she just went out and started dancing. And it was just really an expression of how fucking sick she was of doing the fucking show. And then it blew up and then she had to do it. And I was just like, oh, no. I always root for a comedian. And
Do you know Ellen?
No, I don't. But I think she's a great comic and all of that shit. Like,
she's great.
Yeah, like... And the pressure of fucking doing that every fucking day. Yeah, after a while, you don't want to look at people. You don't want to talk. I remember working with this older guy on something recently, and we were just talking about everybody complaining. And he'd been in the business forever. He goes, dude, my first 30 years in this business, all people did was yell at each other.
Yeah.
That's all it was. You just were like trying to shoot something and all the shit that can go wrong. People lose their tempers and they just say shit. And you just got to like roll with it. Like,
well, they're the boss.
I did a movie one time when this fucking guy, the scene wasn't working and they had to shut it down and it cost them money. And I was the low man in the totem pole. So I got yelled at. He was right in my grill like he was fucking arguing a call. And he was just dropping all these F-bombs. And I was like, what is this, right? And I was all like, I don't need this shit. I'm fucking doing stand-up. I don't need to fucking be here. But but I was smart. I was just like, this guy is like, if I flip out here, like his story is going around Hollywood, his version, not mine. And I just didn't, right? So, and then like a couple of years later, the guy called me out of the blue and stuck me in a movie. And then I hung out with them. And now I love the guy. Absolutely love the guy.
There
And it was
you
just
go.
like, he had a bad fucking day. He had a bad fucking day. We've all had it. And it's just like nowadays, like something like that, if that person was to do that to the wrong person, all of a sudden it becomes like this one moment. This one moment, your worst fucking moment, you lost your temper, you said something that you regret.
Yeah.
Like, because the next day he apologized. And he apologized in an old school way. He kind of came up, we read the scene, and it worked. And he was standing next to me, and he just gave me a couple taps on the shoulder, and I was just like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and it was, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get mad at somebody for losing their temper? I mean, that'd be a little fucking...
It's not a healthy way to apologize, but it is like the thing
It
where...
was
You think?
because I don't want a heartfelt apology
That's
from another
true.
man. I really don't.
That's actually weirder.
I will never get comfortable with that.
True.
I will
Yeah.
just fast forward. I get it. All right. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
I would just do that. Like, all right,
Right.
thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you be like, I really beat myself up over it. It's just like, dude, this is worse than you yelling at me.
Yeah.
Can you just yell at me again?
Yeah.
Well, if I get yelled at like that, my self-esteem is so bad that I'm like, oh, I gotta step it up, or maybe I did something. I put it on me somehow. I got yelled at by a big comic. I'm not gonna say who, and I was like, oh, I fucked up. But everybody was like, he's so mean. I'm like, no, I fucked up.
Dude, that's what fixed that. I did a bit on that lesbian bumping into me. The first night I did it, of course, I didn't realize I popped in a show. Of course, it's the gay show. I had no idea. Probably all the dicks that they had on the stage should have let me know. And which I always think is funny on the gay show. They're trying to be like, can you stop like turning us into like cartoons or whatever? And then they do that at a show. Look at all these dicks. But I always, then after a while, I was just like, well, isn't this like them just being like, you do this, the whole time I was growing up, every beer commercial might as well just had a big pussy fucking in your face. The whole hetero thing was just so out there in all these movies, like 9.5 Weeks and all that. Like that's why oh my god, Billy in the Street with
Billy
Eichner, dude, he's got a movie coming out. It's a gay romantic comedy which has never been done, and I was reading about it and just what he was talking about. I'm like, this is going to change in a good way. It's really going to change things. And I think all of that stuff is really cool.
I was watching the trailer for it, and it looks good. And I remember being like,
dude, he's fucking
He's fun.
hilarious.
He's quick.
but I remember
His shit out on the street is some of like him, Tom Green.
Oh,
Do you remember Tom Green when he had that guy holding that fucking light? And the guy doesn't want to do it anymore. He goes, no. And as he put it towards the ground, he goes, no. And the guy just kept, like, he didn't want to do it. And every time he goes, no. And the guy was he just kept doing it. And he did what it was like. One of my favorite things I ever saw on MTV was him getting that guy to hold this stupid fucking thing. He just stopped this guy in New York. The guy had somewhere to go. And he just got him to hold this stupid light, and he put the pressure of the whole project on him. And the guy had like this fucked up sense of responsibility, like I have to this fucking light.
That show was
So
innovative. That was like big for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, Tom Green is a fucking beast.
Huge.
Freddie Got Fingered is one of the most underappreciated comedies. That's a really funny movie.
There's a lot of those out there, like the ones that slip through the cracks and all that. It's usually not the one that wins the award, like, you know.
Yeah,
And,
like MacGruber or something.
MacGruber's great.
Oh my God,
That's a great movie.
that movie is fucking. It's I will suck your dick.
Oh, get that clip.
I will let you fuck me. Just tell me what you want me to fuck. I just like, dude, that movie is just like fucking. Those are all like, to me, like if I'm watching that by myself on the road, like, you know, that's like the highest. Like if somebody makes a comedy in Hollywood and comedians are watching it on the fucking road and like quoting it and stuff, like, and everybody was quoting that movie. I remember Neil Brennan went to the table read for that. He goes, I've never been to a table read that killed as hard as that.
Whoa.
Like it just fucking murdered.
Wow.
Murdered. Oh my God, the Kristen Wiig sex scene. He's like, doing all this shit.
That's one of the best comedies ever. It's crazy. Yeah, I've never laughed. And the show is fucking amazing. On Peacock is...
Do you ever see a comedy so funny that you're like, I got to change how I am? It's a horrible way to think, but I saw Mulaney once at a Skirball Center, and it was so good. And I didn't know much about him. It was like his first special, and I was like, I got to be more like that. Which obviously I didn't, but
First time I saw that guy, he featured for me at Zany's in Chicago in that little walk-in closet. I love that club.
Oh yeah.
And I've never seen a guy like his. The first time I saw him, I was like, this guy looks like he's been like a broadcaster. Like he looked like he could host the Letterman show, like his first half hour. You know, there was a few guys that I saw that were like no-brainers.
Yeah.
Dane was one. Like the shit that he gets through, the level that guy was killing. Dude, he put the fear in God in guys that have been doing it for 20 years. We used to do Dick Doherty, rest his soul, his comedy clubs and all, like, you know, Drake at Mass and all these places. And Dane would have the headliner like pacing in the back.
Damn.
He was killing that hard, and he would be like, you know, I shouldn't have to follow that. There's no, and my favorite thing, there's no jokes here. It's like, well, listen to the crowd. There's something going on here.
Right,
and like, he doesn't get credit. He kind of came up with like a new genre sort of style, like of it. And, you know, it's just it's a weird fucking business, man.
It is. Some people, it's like the Bo Burnham thing. Some people figure out, not only did he figure out a new way of doing comedy, he did the MySpace shit too. I mean, he was so ahead of it.
That guy is a total fucking trailblazer. What I love is all the shit he got in the beginning. He just shut everybody down, and he totally delivers. And then in the end, you find out this guy's a monster fucking talent.
Oh yeah,
that can kind of do everything.
Yeah,
in front and behind that. He made some other movie. I forget the name of it, years ago, about like teenage kids in your first date.
Eighth grade.
Oh my God, it was a fucking.
I never saw it.
It was a great movie.
Yeah,
great fucking movie. It just totally put you back into like your first crushes and the dumb shit. Like he had like the kid has like a date. He's like trying to comb his hair and you know, the dumb shit that you did when you were a kid. And I saw that with my wife. And we were like that like, and I just remember thinking like that's his first. I think that was his first movie.
Yeah,
and it was like, I mean, this is incredible.
He's a talent.
He's a talented son of a bitch.
6'8".
They almost had him play Larry Bird in
no way
in that Showtime show.
I heard it was gonna happen.
That's
Well,
a pretty
they have
good
another
casting.
kid playing it. The kid who's playing it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I thought it was going to be him.
Did you see how they filmed that Lakers one? Like the fast breaks?
Yeah.
They showed this guy, dude. The guy comes skating in on rollerblades, and he's got a camera, and then he does like this curl around like that, and then flips around going backwards, and he's flying down the court, and then the actors playing, I think, Magic is coming up the court, and he came down backwards and went like right underneath the net as he like, you know, did the whole fast break. I was just like, holy, like who thought to shoot like that? And then what's the odds you got a cameraman that could skate like those kids in Central Park? Remember when they would set up the cones?
Yeah.
And they would do that shit with their feet, you know, going in and
Zigzag.
out. And then they get like, they'd always hit like one cone, and then they'd be like,
that's the damn
like it ended their whole fucking day. It's like it's not enough. Everybody's watching this, and you can't. This is the '90s, everybody, when rollerblading was still cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and they would always catch like one, and then they'd be like, like they just lost their shot to go to the Olympics.
Right.
Seeing those clips, I'm like thinking, like, man, the pressure to make this layup so you don't fuck up a take with everything someone's doing. Like he's doing what he's doing is harder than what they're doing.
You talking about winning time?
Yeah.
I can tell you a couple. I got to do it off camera because I can't say the name. When you get an actor who's in a sports movie but is not athletic,
Yeah.
and there's a crowd of extras watching, going like, "This is going to be some movie magic." I do have to get out of here though,
Dude, thank you so much. Dude,
I know
the special's amazing, man.
I'm such fucking huge fans of you guys and your generation. So keep doing whatever you guys are doing because you're fucking killing it. So thank you for having me.
Same for you, Bill. I mean, the new special is amazing. It's
great.
awesome.
I don't feel all this. I'm just buzzing so much after that root beer float. I'll trash you later when I come down off the sugar.
No, it's amazing. I can't wait to see your movie too, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm in town for. We got a screening at 7 in front of 200 regular people, but we got everybody's been really helping me. Killer editor and editors that we've had working on this thing. So we're kind of getting almost to the fun part where it's like locked, and then it's just gonna be color and music. The music is fucking hard, man. Jesus Christ, it's fucking hard. So I got help with that, thank God. So we shall see. Old Dads, it's coming out at some point.
All right.
Thank you
out.
for having me.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bill.
Bill. Killed it. Good to see you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
gang.
man. Dude, that was a great one.
Ooh, great. He had to run, but yeah, that was one for the books.
Nice to get him in here, man. That was a bucket list get.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I texted him and heard nothing for, I don't know, a week and a half, and then out of the blue today, I'm like, shit, all right. And I even said, he's like, I have a hard out at 5, and I said, hey, come in at 3. We'll do 3 to 5. He's like, 3 to 4. It's like, all right.
3 to 5. That's
I just wanted some wiggle room, but he was like 3 to 4, and I'm like, you got it.
great app.
Great app. Well, where are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be all over. Special September 1st. Netflix, check that out. But I'll be. When does this come out? I'll be in LA the 17th to the 18th. The Bourbon Room, Pittsburgh Improv the following weekend. Burlington, Vermont, September 1st through 3rd. Dania Beach, September 8th through 10th. Louisville, Kentucky the following weekend. Then Irvine, the Improv. Omaha, Nebraska. Getting there from LA is going to be a real fucking bitch. I'm going to have to fly out a day early. Killing me with the LAX, one of the worst airports on the planet.
It really is.
It should be. How does LA not have a good airport?
I know. If you can get out of Burbank, go for that.
There's no options. I got to leave a day early at 11. It's terrible, and
that's
correct.
wild.
Yeah, one of the worst things in my life. Phoenix, Arizona. That'll be great. Love Phoenix. Lexington, New Brunswick, OKC. You can go to my website for more, samuel.com/shows. Mark, what you got, man?
Hey, I'm going to try to go off memory. San Antonio this weekend at LOL Comedy Club.
Breakfast tacos.
Oh, yeah, good call. Comedy Connection in Providence. We're adding shows. Richmond Funny Bone, West Palm Beach, Improv. Keep going. Or the Aura at Portland, Maine. One sold out. One is getting there. Brandon Amphitheater in Brandon, Mississippi with Bert Kreischer. Red Rocks Tumbler Brewing Company in Bakersfield, California, doing 2 shows there. Brea Improv, San Jose Improv, the Danton Music Hall in Toronto, or Danforth, sorry. Royal Oak with Jeff Osmus. He's opening. The Roxanne.
He's a killer.
Killer in Pittsburgh. The Anglert in Iowa City, Pantages in Minneapolis, Lincoln, Nebraska, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Vancouver, New Orleans, New Haven, Boston, Philly, and that's it for the year.
And Bodega Cat is either out. Maybe we'll add something at the beginning of this shit, but like it's here this month. We'll figure it out. But I'm pumped, man.
Right now it's like Lance Bass in 09. Almost out, but not there yet. Or maybe it is. Who knows?
Was he not out in 09?
I don't think he was. I remember it was like gay ? Was the cover of the Time magazine.
God, it must have been tough.
Yeah. So
all those women screaming for you.
I know. 06. Sorry, I was off by a couple. My gaydar was off. I'm gay. All right.
That's your expression.
I got it from him. He's my
We're
comedy
gonna
influence.
talk to his lawyers. That's Mark's.
Yeah, right? What the hell? Next he's going to say, praise Allah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Subscribe. Merch at WeMightBeDrunkPod.com. Email us at WeMightBeDrunkPod@gmail.com. We got all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah,
Patreon.
Yes.
New stuff on the Patreon. We love you. Thanks for listening.
Hell yeah.
Sunday's the day for my next bender. A bit of Pivarek, you know the beer juice close. I've had a little too much bourbon, and Norman's talking shit about the fucking Pope. And I get down in the same way. Up on the roof like a cop's coming, and naked Samuel is feeling dangerous. I'm out to lunch here in New Orleans. This woman doesn't look like I remember her.